Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another edition of the YouTube channel Plugin Police and Too Many Plugins. Today we're going to talk about Ableton Live or Ableton Live. I'm gonna give you the pros and the cons, so the positives and the negatives. But what I mean with that is just a general overview and what I know of the community, what they think of this software. So this is not a review, this is not a tutorial. Reviews and tutorials go much more in depth in the software and the functions and. A good review should basically touch all the functions of a program and review the stability and putting it really under a magnifying glass. So that's not what we're going to do over here. We're just going to talk about the basic functions, the versions you can get, the pros and the cons of Ableton Live, and a big disclaimer, I'm not good in Ableton Live at all. I know it's a little bit the same as Bitwit. I've used it a couple of times. I don't connect with this software, so it's not a piece of software that I'm very familiar with. So we're gonna approach it from that angle. Okay, so what I'm running over here is the Ableton Live 11 edition. I tried to install the 12 edition. I couldn't get it installed. There's all sorts of issues with the installation. It takes very long to install, and after that the program doesn't open. I thought that maybe to do with AVX2 support, but it doesn't. My computer supports AVX2. And I've listened from many people in the community that 12 is very unstable and crashes a lot. So there you go. We're just going to use now the 11 version. But if you have the 11 lite version that you can get with also with MIDI keyboards or sound cards, then you can get a free update to a 12 a light edition. If you don't have a version of Ableton, there's a link in the description of this video where you can get Ableton Live Lite completely for free without need to buy a sound card or a MIDI keyboard. So check the description in the video. The Lite is, of course, just an 8-track version. You can upgrade it to the 16-track version plus 5 gigabytes of sounds for €80. Then upgrade to Live 12 standards. Full features, 38 gigabytes of sounds and more instruments and effect, €209. Same price, more or less, as Fruity Loop Studio. Live Suite 12 is complete studio, 71 gigabytes of sound, max for live, and all instruments and effects. So here you're buying all the instruments and samples that they have. So there you go. These are the prices. I think this price is actually a little bit high over here. I think this should be more like in the $399 range, or I think is more in the lines of Bitwit, for example, Bitwig, for example. Okay, we'll go here quickly to Ableton Live, and I'll show you the basic functions. Big disclaimer, I'm also, by the way, not associated with Ableton Live or any of the software manufacturers that you see on the channel. I'm not monetized, I'm not sponsored, I'm not associated with any of these companies. The opinions you see over here are just purely my opinions, and I do not have the time to be testing learning every piece of software, DAW or plugin that I review on my channel, because if I would do that, then that would take way too long time. It's very difficult to, especially because in DAWs, in plugins not so much, but in DAWs they all have a different workflow, and there's really things you need to get used to. If you're really used to producing Cubase and you go all of a sudden to Bitwit, then you're going to get a shock. Or you're for many years producing in Pro Tools and you go all of a sudden to Fruity Loops, that's going to be really hard, and there's a big learning curve over there. And so you just want to make that disclaimer over here. This is not a review, this is not a tutorial, this is just purely first hands-on and pros and cons of my little experience I have with it and what I know that the community thinks of the software. So we'll go here to Ableton Live. Here's Ableton Live. This is then the 8-track version. You want to get it, link is in the description of this video. How this works over there, this works... The search tool over here works exactly the same as in Traction Waveform. Actually, I like it very much. You can search over here for sound, drums, instrument, different categories, and you can do also here just search in places. and jump from one directory to another directory. And this you can do even search all categories. See if I can see that still. These are plugins. So we can now search here for plugin, and we want a warm. And he gets here the wavetable synthesizer. Let me see. We have here. Let me see if we can find zip in here. Yeah, probably I have to still here sync. I need to make him still search here for my VST libraries. So the VST libraries here are not set here in this computer yet. So there you go. He's not going to find everything that I have over here. Let me see if I can find the extressor. Let me see what we have over here. Yeah, the extressor is over here. Throw this on the percussion over here. Yeah, so that just works fine. And I have over here my wavetable synth. Let me see if we can see that. Yes, that's all just working. So the search tool works really, really well. If we now go to categories, let me see if we can do sounds. And now I just want to find a C minor. Drums, audio effects, in piano keys. He finds a C minor over here. He does it already good. We go to sample CDs. And he then finds here also everything in C minor. Really nice. Now give me 128 BPM loop. And he does find that with the number 128 in it, bass lines. Yeah, I like that already very, very, very much. Let me see, 140. Yes, so that's really, really, really nice. That riser. Does he find something? Right. Yeah. FX. FX, yeah, he's finding that really, 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 really nice. So this search tool over here is absolutely fantastic. I like it already very, very much. Here we go to Arranger over here. We're now in the Arranger screen. If you turn over here, then you're in the vertical plane, where you have all your, let's call them all little samplers, where you can trigger events or sound bites. So these are just actually the stack samplers. Very nice for live casts, podcasts, live streams. If you want to have little sound bites, then you can use this to trigger sound bites. Of course, also for live performances and loops, and that's what makes Ableton Live so powerful. And here you can just switch back again to your horizontal arranger, and this is your vertical arranger. So here you can throw samples in here and just create all sorts of things you can trigger. So that's the way that works. Now, if you want to see here your the VSTs you have, it works the same as in Bitwidth. So you have to click over here, and then you can see on the snare. These are the effects that I throw on top of the snare. And then over here we have extras. There's actually two over here. That's a little bit crazy. That it shouldn't really be, but there you go. Let's turn one off. That was just for me to test a little bit. So that's the way that works. This works also all in an effects chain, as you can see. So you can just start throwing things over here. So you can also go to I want another audio effect, and we grab a warm up lows, and we throw it here on the back over here, and boom, but there we have warm up loads, and that's then for, we are now on channel 5 on the snare. So that's the way that works. In channel 4, we have the Extressor Nuke over here, which is an external VST. So that always looks like this. You have to click here on the little arrow, key sign over here. The button next to is on-fault device parameters. So there you go. Then on your channel over here, so we are, let's go back over here. Yes, now we're on number 1. On your channel, we have external in. You can see now my mic is now. You can also change that, configure, and also let this, for example, get here track 1 in as an external audio input. You have then your master, where he's sending the signal to the master. You can of course turn this all off, no input, because actually you don't want that. Now he's picking up my microphone here, as you can see. Then you have, of course, here you have a solo button. You have a trigger record button over here, arm record. Then we have track activator. We have track volume. We have track pen. We have send. That's send. Both sends. So you could do send and return enable. Then over here we have a track activator. And this is solo, and then arm record, as you can see over here. Then let me see what else can we see over here. On top here we have a tap tempo function. We have a tempo function. We have a phase notch down, phase notch up. We have time signature denominator. Then we have metronome. Then we have a quantization menu. Then over here we have follow. We have arrangement position. Then here, of course, your normal play, stop, and record. How do you call that? Transport mechanism. Then here's a MIDI arrange overdub button. Automatic arm. Re-enable automation. Then we have a capture MIDI. There is session record buttons to record your whole session. Then we have a loop start punch in point. Loop start punch in point and loop start punch in point. Then we have here a punch in switch. We have here a loop switch. We have here a punch out switch. Then we have again loop punch region length. 3 buttons of that, so 3.0.0. So there you go. That is just very quickly Ableton. We go here. You have here just your install package. You can open live sets, save, to show your simple file menu. Then it's here your edit menu, where you have all sorts of functions over here. Which is also quite handy. So you can solo track, arm tracks over here. And just with S and C, and if you can see here, a cut is Control X, copy is Control C, duplicate is Control D, and delete is delete. So select all, Control A, select loop, Control Shift L, and deactivate loop, Control L, group track, Control G. So very actually handy shortcuts over here. Rename, Control R. Quite handy. There's a record quantization menu over here. So the shortcuts are really easy. You should actually also really learn these shortcuts, because it's gonna paste is, by the way, Control V. So there you go. Pretty easy, actually, these shortcuts. Then is here create insert audio track, insert MIDI track, insert return track. So FX return, capture and insert scene, add locator, insert time signature change, import audio file. Then view, you can toggle, so turn on and off certain things you want to have here in the GUI visible. Then we have the option menu. Edit MIDI map, edit key map, then computer MIDI keyboard. You have delay compensation, reduce latency when monitoring, time ruler format, widen grid, snap to grid, snap automation to grid, fixed grid, draw mode, highlight scales, follow, chase MIDI notes, MIDI envelope, auto reset. Solo switch, Q switches, solo in place, lock envelopes, MIDI arrangement overdub, audio engine on, and your preferences. And preferences is just your main preference of your your settings, where you can enable and disable functions. Okay, then we still a help menu that is built-in lessons, read the live manual, learn live at Ableton.com. That's just going to their website. Join the user forum, get support, user account and licenses, check for updates and about live. Up here we have still a button for draw mode switch. Then we have computer MIDI keyboard to activate it, or to use an external MIDI keyboard to activate your computer keyboard as a MIDI keyboard. We have a key map mode switch. Then we have here a MIDI map mode switch. Then we have a CPU load meter that you can adjust and see also all the things of your the resource utilization in Ableton. And then we have after this we have an overload indicator, and we have here a small screen over here that not telling me what it does. MIDI track in indicator. Okay, so there you go. These are the basic settings. I just throw some stuff in here just to see how it's gonna work. By the way, it's just a mess. I just wrote a bunch of a drum loop, a clap, a hi-hat, and a snare. I just wrote in here. And a little bit of percussion just to see how all of this works. So. Solo. Solo. There's here a button also on the channels for monitoring. Then there's here a button for auto. I don't know what the auto exactly stands for. Then we have here an off button also. I don't know what that does. Let me see. Okay, so okay, this is for your monitoring, for your automation, for auto monitor input or off. You can here still also send your master somewhere else if you feel like it. Your external in, no input. We are now having an input because I'm talking on the mic and it's showing here. Hello, audio, 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 audio. So this over here is your LED indicator of your external input. So now I'm talking on the mic. See, hello, hello, hello. And now he drops down, you see, so it's showing here that he's on this channel also having a separate VU meters for your input, separate to the sample that's running over here. So that's actually quite handy also. How the rest of it all works with fades in and stuff, I have no idea, serious. I'm going to be really, really honest. I need to all still figure that out. Let me see, freeze track. Edit info tray, zoom back from the last. Create fades. Reset fades, but it's now not illuminated. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I don't know why that is. That I still need to figure out also. I don't know how to really do that, to be very honest. Can we also zoom? Oh yeah. We have here, by the way, a button, showed height in out section, so you can turn that off, turn that on. Then you have another button over the show height return tracks, so off, on. These are your FX, your send return tracks to be visible or to make them invisible. Then we have here show height mixer section, so now the mixer is gone. Now you can put it back, and now you can put this back. So maybe you only need this, then you use only this. That's then show height mixer section, that you can also turn off, and now your mixer is gone also, so that's also quite handy also. So all these controls over here you can by yourself turn off. Then over here is your loop selector bar over here, so where everything starts looping. You have here of course also your loop on and off button. Then over here you can go forwards and you can go backwards. If I'm not wrong, you need to be also able to. Oh yeah, there's another button over here. Is edit MIDI map, edit key map. Okay, and now I just would like to see how I can zoom in over here. That's what I would like to know. How can I zoom in on these channels? It's not something here pulling on the faders. Yeah. We have here a set delete locator button. Then we have here a previous locator button. And then a next locator button. And we have here automation mode. And then we have here a button to lock the envelopes of a track. I was also capable of doing that. Yeah, here you can just click on a sample and you can here start changing the envelopes of a track, which is kind of cool. Let me see if that still works. If I could change here the end. Crop sample. Hey, undo. Okay, now crop the sample over here. Okay, so you can do that also. Just individually on a track, and then you can here start like changing the sample. Show mixer clip. Edit. No. I have to figure out how this exactly works. But there you go. There's just a way over here of changing the envelopes and crop a sample, and just a little sampler here. Though every sample you just need to double click on, and you will immediately get a little sample tool over here, which is quite handy. So click tabs, and then we have here tool tabs, and this is over here to change your envelopes. Warp and follow. See if we can warp something a little bit. I don't know what I did now, but oh, you get a bunch of nice warp from here. I don't even know what I just did. I'm just trying something out over here, but I see that something changed here in the sample. Okay. This sounds absolutely terrible, that, but there you go. Extract groove. I don't even know what that was. Ah, okay, no, it's... Okay, then it comes now some sort of trigger thing over here. Let me see, it must be in here then. I'm seeing it already. Okay, that came over here. It's kind of interesting function, is that actually. Quite impressed if I start seeing that when you start really like checking what kind of functions are really in here, then it's actually really advanced, you know. There's also a nice consolidate function over here. I don't know if there's a bounce in place, but consolidate must be a sort of like the same kind of function. One or more clicks to set the tempo leaders. Tempo automation will be extended to match the length of the newly consolidated clip. Okay. Okay, I don't know what that just was, but play that. Huh. Okay, so quite advanced features actually in here for direct sample manipulation, and then of course also your effects chain, so how you can here yourself start setting up and start looking at at creating effects change, compressors, equalizers, and everything. This works exactly the same as in bitwidth. So for people who are used to Ableton, very easy to jump to a bitwidth, and vice versa. If you're used to bitwidth, then it's quite easy actually to get the hang of Ableton. I'm quite impressed actually with the amount of functions that you have over here. This is really crazy full-fledged DAW. Also the amount of effects that I'm seeing that are available in here. So there you go. Until the next time, stay safe, take care. I'll catch you in the next one.